Hey guys, it's Lee. Okay, I recently played the epic ship event that was released for Odyssey. I'm not very good at naval combat on Nightmare. I think that difficulty modes should be tuned separately on foot and for naval. So Nightmare is a little bit overtuned, in my opinion. I think it's pretty intense. But anyway, I'm trying to get this done on my first try. So if you see me hesitate or make certain decisions where I'm a little too careful, a little too cautious, this is why. This is my first and only attempt of this event. So I'm going to open by attacking the ship here that's on the periphery. So one of the important things about Odyssey Naval is bracing. And I know that sounds funny because you're probably thinking, oh, like, what's so special about bracing? Everybody knows that you should block damage, but you guys don't get it. In AC, Black Flag, and Rogue and Origins, you can face tank damage with seemingly no problem. In this game, it doesn't work that way. If you take unbraced damage, that's half of your health bar chunked off. Anyway, I'm gonna open as well by getting close to this ship and trying to burst it down as quickly as possible, because I know that I will take damage from it, but I'm also exposing myself to damage from it by attacking at times that I should perhaps be blocking more. There's a reason I'm doing this, and the reason I'm doing this is because there are two other ships, and what I want to do is kill this one as quickly as possible. So what that does is it makes me take more damage than I normally would, which is why I board it. Boarding a ship makes your ship unable to be attacked for the duration of the boarding, and when the boarding is finished, your ship will heal some of its HP. So I'm just gonna get over here and more or less try to kill these guys as quickly as I can. My lieutenants are gonna take care of most of this, by the way. Lieutenants, while boarding, are incredibly powerful, and they pretty much carry boardings for you. You don't even have to really do anything. You can kind of just avoid damage, and as long as you yourself don't die, your lieutenants will be able to finish stuff up. You can see the heal from the finished boarding. Now there's 2 targets left, and they still haven't aggroed me, which is incredibly lucky, because if all 3 were fighting me at the same time, I probably would have died, unless my positioning was very good, and unless I also got very lucky. So I want to see which one of these I can burst down quicker, because that will determine my fight order. So I see that that's a Light Trireme, and that's an Alpha Light Trireme. All things being the same, all things considered, the regular Trireme is gonna be easier to destroy. So that's what I'm gonna go for first. There are certain things that I didn't mention before, but attacking with fire when your fire meter is available deals more damage and also deals a dot, a damage over time. So it's always good to do that. So, an interesting thing that I always want to do is ram into people when I can, but also avoid being rammed. So this distance is the perfect range for me to be, because I can hit the enemy very easily, and I can block their damage very easily, and open fire immediately after bracing their damage. So you can see I'm hitting them with javelins, which is kind of like your heavy attack, and immediately trying to use fire whenever I can. Now if you notice, my health bar just took an insane amount of damage, and it's because both ships are now attacking me at the same time. This makes things extremely tough. At this point, it's kind of like a juggle between I want to burst this first ship down as quickly as possible so that I can heal off of it, but I also don't want to die, because if I die, you guys don't get to see this video. So you can see this ship has been disabled. I'm just going to pull up here, board it, and I'm feeling a little bit safer now. Mind you, this isn't going to fill my entire ship's health, but it will help a lot. I open with Rush Assassinate when boarding just because it's the quickest way to deal a lot of damage to multiple units, and you just want to kill everybody on board as quickly as possible. You don't need to be fancy or do anything crazy. I'll use multi-shot just to pepper them with damage. And that's that finished. So now that this has been done, there is only the Black Wind itself remaining. And that will be a challenge. But what you see me do here, and I may actually fast forward through this a little bit, what you see me do here is wait for this ship's position to change relative to me. Now, why do I do that? Because right now, you can see that I'm actually safe. Until I take command of the Adrestia, the enemy ships will not attack me. So what you can do is wait until your position and the enemy's position is more favorable for you, and only then engage. You can see I can open fire on him instantly. I'm not going to do a lot of damage, but it is still better than him being behind me, for example. Big ships like to fire volleys of 3, so you can remember that. It's either volleys of 2 or 3. So the next thing I ideally want to do is open fire on its weak point and also just burn it as often as possible. Fire works on you the same way, so sailing through it is extremely painful, especially on Nightmare, and fire is scary because even if you brace the initial burst, you'll still take the dot after. Like you can see, I'm still taking the dot, even though I've braced the initial hit. And that's just kind of a fact of life. There's not much you can do about it. Likewise, though, setting the enemy on fire is useful for similar reasons. So the common pattern that I've sort of settled into now is I'll build flame gauge by spamming with light attacks, and I'll try to use heavy fire attack in order to deal the most damage possible. Because javelins, which are, you know, they're your heavy, they deal more damage than arrows, and fire deals more damage than not being on fire. So yeah. Now that I'm done, I'm not even gonna bother boarding that one because I don't want the risk of dying and wiping all that progress. So I'll just shoot it with another burst and leave. Alright, so that's been it. Thanks so much for checking this out. And if there are other epic ships in the coming weeks or epic mercenaries, I will try to do one attempt runs on them. The videos that will be put up are the ones that I succeed in, and if I don't succeed, then there just won't be a video.